Well, wait until you see it. I'm seconds away from showing you video that hasn't been seen in decades.
But first, the backstory. You know, when Channel 4 first went on the air, we were known as WKY-TV, one of the first in the nation to have television news.
And you know, the guys who made that possible were the Steve Jobs and the Bill Gates of that era. Creative pioneers who had a vision and made it happen. Those early films have been in storage at the Oklahoma History Center, but now that treasure chest is about to be opened, and you'll eventually be able to see all 7,000 reels on the internet. But before I give you the link, let me give you a sample as we rewind in time. Rare 16mm film. History sliding through the fingers of archivist Corey Ayers.
I'm definitely aware that we're doing something special.
Images unseen for decades. The king of rock and roll, a fevered Oklahoma City crowd, Elvis on stage at the Civic Center.
Yeah, we'd never get a trial on Zartan. Wait a minute.
Nostalgic memories of a cowboy and a spaceman who mesmerized young audiences. The airport before it became Will Rogers. Entertainer Bob Hope, Airbound, powered by props.
We think of the 50s sometimes as this kind of Leave It to Beaver time, and you find out that it's, you know, it was real life.
Real life images in storage, now revealed. A montage of history. Delivery of the first oral polio vaccine. The original Pistol Pete, Frank Eaton. A young Kennedy, unaware of the Dallas day in his future. The sit-ins in Oklahoma City, using teenagers to peacefully end segregation.
We were not afraid, and I can't tell you why.
You're at John A. Brown's, a downtown department store. Protesters take seats usually denied them. Among the demonstrators, Joyce Henderson, who believes the advent of television coverage helped end segregation.
The television, however, made it more real because they could identify with persons who participated. Once you could see our involvement, you couldn't help but be supportive of what we were trying to do.
Television changed much in the 50s and 60s. For the first time, as viewers watched news film, they felt as though they were eyewitnesses to events, and some of them were unique. Do you know what this is? A 280mm atomic cannon. It's being test-fired at Fort Sill with a dummy shell, but still, watch them scatter.
3, 2, 1, fire.
You're going to be one of the crew members who go out to Nevada to fire the atomic shell, is that right?
Right.
Do you have any qualms about firing an atomic warhead?
Well, yes, I do, to tell you the truth. I mean, naturally, I got to be scared, but close to one of them, I will.
This rare WKY footage will take you to a place few had reason to see or experience. You're hearing the sound of death. A guard turning on the power to the electric chair at the Oklahoma State Prison in McAllister. 82 inmates would be executed in this chair.
My part of the job is just like the judge and the jury and the other men that work here. It's just part of the job, an overall picture.
It was 50 years ago that WKY reporter-producer Gene Allen took cameras behind prison walls for that story.
You never knew when you walked in the newsroom on a shift exactly what you're going to run into.
Or where you'd go. You're with Miss America Jane Giroux in Vietnam. She's 20 years old.
The most meaningful thing that I did, and the most rewarding, without a doubt.
Bringing moments of peace to men in war.
The most valuable thing that we did really was just one-on-one talking, shaking hands. How you doing? You know, we were just home to them.
And home was what these young soldiers needed.
Oh, yes. I just can't help but get emotional about that. They were so grateful, and it was their sacrifice. They were the ones who were there for years, and we were there for 2 weeks.
Astonishing images that have been in storage until now.
The WKY film collection is a treasure trove of information that's not just the facts, what happened, but it is almost like an eyewitness account. You're there when you see that footage.
WKY Personality TV.
This man shot the first news film at WKY. Johnny Shannon, now 87 years old.
Everything you did, nobody had ever done it before.
He was one of the pioneers in this new thing called television, who came up with the blueprints for things we now take for granted, like football coaches having their own shows.
Football coaching is teamwork, just exactly the same as playing the game.
OU's legendary Bud Wilkinson had the first college football coaches show in the nation, and Johnny Shannon shot the game films, home and away.
We flew back to Oklahoma City, processed film, worked all night to get it ready for Sunday afternoon.
Never stopping to think he was recording history and making it.
I didn't think about that. I just went out, did it.
Johnny's work and the work of others at Channel 4 make up 7,000 reels of news film, the single best collection in the nation, now available for a new generation of viewers.
The Oklahoma History Center is transferring those films to the internet, too.
And doing a good job of it. You know how long it will take to get them all on there? About 7 years. But they already have hours and hours of vintage video available for you.
That's good stuff. We've set up a link for you at KFOR.com/links.